So, good morning, friends. Today we have to see the electrochemistry. In that, we have to discuss the how the electrical transport will takes place in matter, so that the behavior of the matter towards the electricity can be classified as a material being conductive or non-conductive, or the conductor or insulator, and this classification depend on whether that material can pass the electricity through it or not. So the substance which allow an electric current to flow through them are known as the conductor, and those substances which do not allow to pass the electric current through them are known as the insulator one. So friends, for that let I share my screen to all of you. One point to the another point, or one position to the another position, or you may consider the one side to the another side one. Okay, so that is due to the passage of electron, actually, or the passage of the electricity from one points to the another points one. So this classification actually depend on whether your electricity can pass through this material or not one. That will decide the whatever behavior of the material towards the electricity. It means you can classify the material is being a conductive material or the non-conductive, or you may say the insulator one. So this is here. Now the substance has allowed to flow the electric current through them are called as the conductor one. As I already mentioned, that if your material pass the electricity from one point to the another point, or one place to the another place, then you can say this material is to be a conductor one, because it flows or it allows to pass the electricity through them one. And so such a material are known as the conductor one. Okay, so material which do not allow to pass the electricity through them then are called as the insulator one. So such a material are generally we called as it is an insulator, because it doesn't allow to flow the electricity through them or through material one, and so that we can call these are the insulator one. Okay, so this is actually difference in between the material, whether your material is being a conductor material or whether your material is being a insulator one. So that will determine by classifying or by taking the experience that whether your material is allowed to flow the electricity or the current through them, and that will decide you that will give you idea about how the material is being your conducting material or the non-conducting material, or you may say the insulator one. Okay, so this is a part of the electrical transport, how the electrical transport decide you that material is being a conductor one or the non-conductor or insulator one. Okay, so out of that let me see very first, that is the metallic conduction, how the metallic conduction will takes place. So generally we all know there are the metal which are very good conductor of the heat and electricity. Generally we consider the all metal. Okay, generally we consider all metal which are good conductor of heat and electricity, because the that reason you all know, when electric current is passed through the metal, then there will be a flow of electron in the direction of the current. That is the conductivity of metal is due to the flow of electron from one point to the another point, and the passage of electric current through the metal does not produce any chemical change in the metal one. So this thing you have to remember always, that the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. What will be the reason that they are good conductor of the heat and electricity? So when you passes the electric current through the metal, then there will be a flow of electron will takes place in the direction of current. So why they flow the electric current in the direction of current? So you all know the metal are the very have electronic structure is such that they have very large amount of the electron in its valence shell, and that's why this large number of electrons they are free, or they are have ability to move, or they are have ability to go from valence band to the conductive band very easily one, and that's why when you apply some electricity through one point to this metal, then there is a natural flow of electron from one position to the another position, means in the direction of the electric current, direction of the current will take in the direction of current, that flow of electron will takes place, and due to that this metal shows the good conductivity when you apply some electricity to such a metal, and so that you can say these metals are the very good conductor of the electricity one. So this passage of electric current through this metal is only due to the flow of electron. This thing you have to remember, because when you consider the electricity passes in the metal, then there is a flow of electron will takes place, and flow of electron will not causes any chemical change in the material. When you consider the electricity passes from one position to the another position in any matter, if such a flow of electricity is takes place by the electron flow, in that case you have to consider that this passage of electric current does not affect any chemical change in that material. So that thing you have to apply here in metal also, because in metal electricity passage will takes place only due to the flow of electron, and that's why the flow of electricity through the metal will not causes any chemical change, means the matter will remain as it is, or your material or your metal or your whatever be substance will remain as it is, because only passage of electron will takes place in the metallic conduction, and not the chemical change will takes place, means the chemical entity of that material remain as it is one, because only flow of electron will takes place. And so you can say there is no flow of matter from one position to the another position will take place, and so that the flow of electricity is only due to the electron in a metallic conduction. Okay, so all metal do not have the same value of the conductivity, because their internal structure are different for the different metal one. So this thing also you have to remember, that the when you consider the metals and the conductivity in metals, then all these metal actually do not shows or do not have the any same value of the conductivity. So why? Because there is a reason that their internal structures are different for different metal one. As you consider any metal, then it have its own conductivity, or it have its own value of the conductivity. So why? Because their internal structure for this metal, for this particular metal, is internal structure is different for different material. Because as you see, the all metal are not shows the same value of the conductivity, because their internal structure and the availability of the number of electron are not same one, and so that the metal does not show the same value of the conductivity, and they have the different value of the conductivity. So this is the reason that the internal structure and the availability of the electron is not the equal one, or not the same one, and so that this metal does not shows the same value for conductivity. Okay, so the conductivity of the metal depend on the resistance. More the resistance, less will be the value of conductivity. Okay, because the conductivity value of not only metal but the any material, that is the conductivity value is always depend upon the presence of the resistance in that material or in that metal one. So here if you have the large number of resistance, then the conductivity value automatically will get decreases. So more the value of the resistance, less will be the value of the conductivity. As you increase the resistance for the flow of electron, then conductivity value naturally will get decreases, because resistance causes that to decrease in the conductivity one. Okay, so the resistance of the metal actually depend on the characteristics of the metal. So for any material or any matter or any metal, the resistance of this metal are always depend on the characteristics of that particular metal one. So each metal have its own characteristics, and so that they shows the different conductivity values. So resistance of the any metal is always characteristics of that particular metal one. So the resistance R of any metal at given temperature varies directly to its length, to its cross sectional. So this resistance can be determined for any material. How it will be? So that resistance of the metal is for any metal at a given temperature, which is varies directly to its length, is directly proportional to its length. Okay, so it varies directly to its length and the inversely proportional to its cross sectional area, means how much cross sectional area for the conducting material, and that will be the inversely proportional to the resistance 1, and the length of the conducting material is the directly proportional to the resistance 1. So that thing you have to mention in the mathematical form, how it will be. So let me see in formula that the capital R is directly proportional to the L by A. So capital R is nothing but this is the resistance 1. Capital R is the resistance 1, and the L is the length. L is the length. Okay, and R is the resistance 1. आवाज येतोय का माझा? आवाज येतोय का?
सर
आवाज येतोय ना? हॅलो, आवाज येतोय का?
हो येतोय.
Okay, okay. Let I only check if any disturbance is there. Okay, so here the R is capital R is the resistance, and which is directly proportional to the length. L is indicate it is a length of the conducting material. Conducting material ची ती length आहे. R जो आहे तो resistance आहे, and A is only the, and this is the cross sectional area of the conducting material. Okay, so by this mathematical form, you consider that the R is directly proportional to the L divided by A. L divided by the A. L is the length of the conducting material and A is the cross sectional area of the conducting material. So by this, you can say that your resistance of the material is directly proportional to the length of the conducting material and inversely proportional to the cross sectional area 1. So this is the thing that how the R can calculated, or how the R is defined. So R depend on the length and the cross sectional area of the conducting material. So by that you can write in next line that R is equal to rho into L divided by A. So rho is the any constant, or you can say it is a specific resistance, and that rho can be determined. How it will be determined? That rho can be determined if you consider the L value is equal to 1 and A value is equal to 1. Suppose you have considered the 1 centimeter conducting material, or the length of the conducting material is supposed to be 1 centimeter, and the cross sectional area for this conducting material is supposed to be 1 centimeter cube. 1 centimeter cube 1. So such type of when you take the situation, that is the L is equal to 1, A is equal to 1. So 1 by 1 it will become 1. Okay, 1 by 1 it will become 1, and so that whatever be value of the R is equal to, it will become rho 1. So that rho is equal to the specific resistance 1. Why it is specific resistance? Because you take the value of the conducting material is a unity or unite, or and the cross sectional area for the conducting material is also the unit value, or the 1. So here 1 divided by 1 you will get the 1 value, and so R is equal to rho. So that rho value is nothing but it is the constant, or it is a specific resistance, and that specific resistance is a constant one. Okay, so that is this rho, which is a resistance or a specific resistance which can have the ohm unit. Resistance have the ohm unit offered by the 1 cubic centimeter of the conducting material. So 1 cubic centimeter conducting material जर तुमच्या जवळ असेल आणि त्या कंडक्टिंग मटेरियल मधून जर तुम्ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास केली, ती इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास केल्यानंतर जो रेजिस्टन्स त्या इलेक्ट्रिसिटीला मिळेल किंवा दॅट resistance offered by that conducting material when your conducting material have 1 cubic centimeter area and the 1 centimeter length, and in that case whatever be resistance offered by that conducting material, that resistance is the rho 1 or the specific resistance 1. So that specific resistance you can determine by taking the unit value or unit value 1. Okay, so you have to see the next point, that is the conduction in electrolytic solution. Conduction in a electrolytic solution. So up to this we discuss about the conduction in metallic or in a metal. What kind of the conductivity value is there, how the conductance will takes place in metal. That conduction only takes place through the electron flow of electron 1, but here in this case you have to consider the electrolytic solution. And in this electrolytic solution, how conductivity will takes place, that thing we have to discuss in this point, that is conduction in a electrolytic solution, how it will be takes place. So for that you have to see what is happening when electrolyte solution is takes place, then what will happening, and after that how the electricity will pass through this electrolyte solution we have to see. Okay, so when electrolyte is dissolved, or any electrolyte, when you dissolve in a proper solvent, suppose when you consider the electrolyte is dissolved in water, water is any universal, you may consider the solvent one, and in that when you supposed to dissolve some electrolyte in that, then what will happen when this electrolyte is dissolved in water, then it will ionize into the cation and the anion one. So it will ionize from the in ionic form, that is one is from the cation positive charge and one is from the opposite charge, that is the anion one. So cation and anion will get formed when it will be electrolyzed in water, and then it will be ionized in a two ions, that is cation and the anion one. So this flow of electricity through the solution of the electrolyte is due to the migration of ion under the influence of the applied electric field. So this statement is always consider here how electricity will pass through the electrolytic solution. So this flow of electricity through the solution, that is the electrolyte solution, is only due to the migration of ion. So here not flow of electron will take place, just like in a metallic conduction. Here what will happen, that is the migration of ion will takes place, means the ion will migrated from the one plus to the another plus under the influence of the applied electric field. So when you apply some electric field to such electrolyte solution, then there is a migration of ion will takes place from one position to the another position. So that migration will takes place towards the opposite charge electrode. Suppose you have the cation, positively charged cation, then that positively charged cation will migrate towards the negatively charged cathode electrode. Okay, and suppose you have the anion as a negatively charged ion, then it will migrate towards the positively charged anode one. And so here the migration of ion will takes place, not the migration of electron, but the migration of ion will takes place from one position to the another position. So due to that migration, the electricity flow will takes place. And so here you have to consider, when this electric current is flow through this solution, then cation moves towards the negatively charged cathode and the anion moves towards the positively charged anode one. So this thing happening when the electricity will get passed to such a electrolyte solution one, if that solution contain the ions one. So that thing happening. So let me see it by some example. One example you have here, that when electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of NaCl. So you have the NaCl as an electrolyte, Na plus and Cl minus. So this type of the ion can form when the NaCl is added to the water. Then what will happen? See, this is a electrolyte solution. And in this electrolyte solution, what will happen? We have to see in this diagram the how electricity will pass through the solution. So let me see in this picture and that the electrolyte conduction takes place in this. So how it will be? You have the one. Suppose you have one beaker, and in that beaker there is electrolyte solution as a NaCl, and the water will added to that. So it contain the OH minus ion, H plus ion, Cl minus ion, Na plus ion. So these ions are present in this electrolyte solution, and two electrodes are immersed in this solution and through external circuit. And you have to apply some electricity or some charge uh, through the external circuit to this electrode. Then what will happening? So here is a reaction is given. What is the reaction at the cathode and what is the reaction at the anode one? So that thing you have to discuss here. So at the cathode, what will happen? H plus ion, that is the cation, H plus ion cation will migrate towards the cathode one, and cathode have the negatively charged electron one. So in this you see in the first reaction that the electron will get captured from the cathode electrode by this H plus ion, and it will get neutralized as a H1. Okay, H1. And in this way, when two hydrogen come close to each other, they will form the H2 molecule. They will form the H2 molecule, and this H2 molecule is in the gaseous state, is in the gaseous form, and so that gaseous form H2 molecule will get liberated at the cathode one. Okay, so this liberation of this H2 will takes place at the cathode electrode, and at the anode there is a Cl minus anion. That Cl minus anion will migrate towards the oppositely charged electrode as a anode. So anode is a positively charged electrode, and your chlorine is a negatively charged anion. So that negatively charged anion, when migrated towards the positively charged anode, then it will lose its electron. It will lose its electron, and it will be stabilized as a Cl in a Cl2. So it will be from the Cl2 molecule, which is also in a gaseous form. It's also in a gaseous form, and so that this Cl2 will get liberated at the anode, and H2 will liberated at the cathode one. So this is the reaction will takes place when electrolyte solution is there, and if you supply some electricity through external circuit. So here this H2 will get liberated at the cathode, chlorine is liberated at the anode, and the solution contain it will remain as a Na plus and the OH minus ion. So why this is happening? Because there is a reason that the electrode potential or the electrochemical series is there, and that electrochemical series decides that which kind of the ion firstly liberated or which kind of the ion firstly migrated or it will move towards the respective electrode. So that will decide by the electrochemical series, and so that here the H plus ion is having the fast movement. Why it have fast movement? Because it is in lighter size. It is in a lighter size, and Na plus is in bigger size one, and so that it will migrate towards the respective electrode very fastly than the your Na plus ion. And so H plus will migrate firstly, then Na plus, and so H2 initially liberated. Same thing happening here also in case of the Cl2 and the OH minus 1. So here also the electrode potential is greater than the OH for Cl, and so that the Cl will migrate or it will liberate firstly, then the OH minus ion. So this is happening when after the complete evaporation of the water, and the after complete evaporation of the water from this electrolyte solution, then what will happen? There is a formation of NaOH crystal, solid crystal will obtain at lastly one. When the complete evaporation of the this H2 and your Cl2 will get liberated. So after that liberation, the water contain or your solution contain the NaOH crystal, NaOH solid crystal will obtain, after complete evaporation or after complete electrolysis takes place, and after that the NaOH crystal will obtain finally, and so that you can say that there is a migration of the ion, that is the H2 and Cl minus, will takes place in this electrolyte solution. So since the ions are charged particle of the matter, and hence there is a migration which involve the not only flow of electricity but also the transfer of the matter from one part of the system to the another part of the system. So the flow of electricity in this electrolyte solution produces the chemical change. So this thing you have to remember here. What happened here? The migration of ion will take place, and ions have this some mass. Ions have this some mass means it is a part of matter. Electron doesn't have the mass one, or it doesn't considered as a mass one, because it is having very less mass. So this electron migration is generally not considered as the transfer of matter from one place to the another place, and so that chemical change is not happening in a metallic condition. But in this case, the migration of ion will takes place from one place to the another place one, and so that this migration causes that the chemical change will occur here. Chemical change will occur means the migration of matter, or matter can move from one part of the system to the another part of the system, and so that this causes that this flow of electricity through the electrolyte solution causes the chemical change, and it will produce the chemical change when the migration of the ion will takes place from one point to the another point. So this is the difference between the metallic conduction and the electrolytic conduction. In metallic conduction, what will happen? The migration of electron will take place, and in electrolyte conduction, the migration of ion will take place. And so that this migration of ion causes that there is a production, there is a chemical change is there, or chemical change will take place in the electrolyte solution, and in metallic conduction, no such chemical change will occur one. So this is the two kinds of the electrical transport, that is the metallic transport or the electrolytic transport of the current or electricity will takes place. Okay. So next definition is given, that the conduction, what is the conduction and how it will be expressed in this electrochemistry or in electricity. So in electrochemistry, instead of resistance, the term conductance is generally used to express the power of conductor to carry the electric current. So the term conductance implies that the S with which the current can flow through the conductor, and that is it is the reciprocal of the resistance one. It is the reciprocal of the resistance one. So what is the conduction? In electrochemistry, conductance, actually the term, or in electrochemistry, the instead of resistance, the conductance generally term used, and that conductance is nothing but it is the power of any conductor to carry the electric current. Electric current carry करण्याची कोणत्याही कंडक्टिंग मटेरियलची जी पॉवर असते, त्या पॉवरलाच काय म्हटलेलं, इट इज द कंडक्टन्स of that particular material. That is the power of conductor to carry the electric current through them. So this term conductance implies that it is a S with which the current flow through the conductor, that is, it is the reciprocal of the resistance one. It is the reciprocal, or you may say that is C divided, C is equal to the 1 divided by the R1. So it is the reciprocal of the resistance one. So by this you can say it is only the power of the conducting material to conduct the electricity are known as the conductance, and it is directly inversely proportional to the resistance one. So C is equal to the 1 by R. So R is the resistance one. R is the resistance, and that resistance decide what is the power of conductivity. So by that you can say, if you have the R value is a higher one or greater one, in that case C will become less. जेवढी R value जास्त येईल तेवढी C ची value कमी येईल. Means what? If R value is higher, then 1 by R become less. 1 by R value become less when the R value is higher one. And in that case, you can say conductance value is a less, or it is a lesser one, because R is inversely proportional to the C, or the R resistance is inversely proportional to the conductance one. And in that case, you have the value of the C is less if R is a maximum. If R is the less, in another case, suppose in another case, if R value is a very less one or very negligible, म्हणजे एखाद्या कंडक्टिंग मटेरियल मध्ये जर आर व्हॅल्यू अतिशय लहान असेल, तर आर व्हॅल्यू जर लहान असेल तर 1 by आर व्हॅल्यू ही मॅक्झिमम येईल, जास्त येईल, जास्तीत जास्त येईल. आणि जेवढी जास्त येईल तेवढा कंडक्टन्स व्हॅल्यू इन्क्रीज होईल, तेवढी कंडक्टन्स व्हॅल्यू वाढेल त्याची. म्हणजेच आर डिसाइड conductance in the material, or decide the conductance in the material, or the resistance decide the conductance in the material one. Okay, so that can be written in the form that, or you can determine the units for the conductance. So what will be that? Suppose R have the unit ohms. Ohm is the unit for the R, so 1 by ohms, 1 by ohm, because when you consider this formula C is equal to 1 by R, the 1 divided by ohms is for the resistance. So that ohm, when you take to the upper side, it will become inverse. So ohm inverse is the unit for the conductance. It also written in the another form, or that is the mohes. म्हणजे त्याला एक तर ओहम इनवर्स हे एक युनिट आहे कंडक्टन्स साठी, नेहमी लक्षात ठेवायचं. कंडक्टन्सचं युनिट काय आहे? ओहम इनवर्स असेल किंवा मग मोहोज, MHOS, मोहोज हे एक युनिट आहे. मोहोज नसेल म्हणायचं तुम्हाला तर मग त्याला ओहम इनवर्स म्हणायचं. ओहम इनवर्स इज द युनिट फॉर द कंडक्टन्स. So always remember, ohm is the unit for resistance, ohm inverse is the unit for the conductance, or the mohes is unit for the conductance one. Okay, so in this way you can determine the conductivity value or the conductance one. Another is there, that is the specific conductance one. What is the specific conductance and how it will be decided one? Okay, so this specific conductance is nothing but it is the reciprocal of the specific resistance, is called as the specific conductance, and it is denoted by the letter capital K. Specific conductance कशाला म्हणायचं? It is the reciprocal or the inversely proportional to the specific conductance. Specific conductance च्या reciprocal मध्ये, किंवा you can say that this specific conductance K, capital K, is inversely proportional to the specific resistance. Rho is the specific resistance, and when you take the reciprocal of this specific resistance, you will get the value of specific conductance. How it will be? For that formula is known here. So that formula is known as the K is equal to 1 by rho. K is equal to 1 by rho. Rho is the specific resistance one and K is the specific conductance one. So, but you all know the formula is given for the resistance. What is that formula? That is the capital R. Here is the formula. Capital R is equal to the rho into L by A. Rho is equal, R is equal to rho into L by A. So rho into L by A is the resistance of the material. So that equation you can recognize, you can adjust, or you can written in another form, that the rho is equal to, when you take this L by A to the other side or opposite side, you will get the value of the rho one. So rho is equal to the capital R in bracket A divided by L. A divided by L. When you take the L by A to the opposite side, then you will get the value of the A by L1. Okay, so you get the value of the rho. Again, when you take the reciprocal of this rho, 1 by rho, then again both side equation will get changes. That is it will become the 1 by rho is equal to 1 by r multiply by again L by A. Again multiply by the L by A. So you will get the value that the 1 by rho is equal to 1 by r into L by A. 1 by r into the L by A. So 1 by rho is the K value, or it is a specific conductance one. It is a specific conductance one. 1 by rho is a specific conductance. Rho is the specific resistance. R is the resistance, total resistance. L is the length of conducting material. And A is the cross-sectional area of the conducting material. So this thing you all know. So put this formula in your earlier equation, that is K is equal to 1 by rho. So when you put the value of the 1 by rho, in this you will get the K value is equal to. So therefore, the K is equal to 1 by R into the L by A. K is equal to the 1 by R into L by A. So K is equal to the conductance into the L by A, because the 1 by R you already know. You already see in very firstly, that is the R is equal to. R is equal to what? The R is equal to, this is the resistance one. This one is the resistance. But when you take the 1 by R, then 1 by R, then 1 by R is nothing but it is the conductivity value. 1 by R is the conductive, because conductance is the reciprocal of the resistance. So the specific conductance is equal to the conductance into L by A. Conductance into L divided by A. Suppose you apply some condition. So what is that condition? Suppose you have the value of the L, that is the length of conducting material, is equal to 1 centimeter length, is equal to 1 centimeter length, and the value of A is equal to 1 centimeter square. Value of the A is equal to 1 centimeter square. Then what will happen? You will have the value as 1 divided by 1. So it will become the 1. And so that the whatever be K value is equal to, that K value is the conductance, and that conductance are known as the specific conductance. So thus the specific conductance may be defined as the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of the solution, and it is expressed in a ohm inverse per centimeter. Ohm inverse per centimeter. So in this way, the specific conductance can be determined. Specific conductance can be determined. So this is the way how the specific conductance can be determined. So by that you can have the formula for the specific conductance, that the 1 by R into L by A, that can be written, that is in a unit form, that is the K is equal to 1 by ohm multiply by centimeter divided by centimeter square 1. Okay. So 1 by ohm into again centimeter, and the square will get cancelled. It will become the 1 by centimeter only. And when you solve, so you will take the ohm, when you take in a upper side, it will become the inverse. So ohm inverse centimeter you have to take in upper side also, it will become centimeter inverse. So ohm inverse centimeter inverse is the unit for specific conductance. In other form, or Mohs centimeter inverse is the unit for this specific conductance. Specific conductance किंवा specific resistance याकरता काय युनिट आहे, असा एखादा ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला येऊ शकतो. तर त्यावेळी काय लिहायचं, ओहम इनवर्स मल्टिप्लाय बाय सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स. ओहम इनवर्स मल्टिप्लाय बाय सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स हे एक ऑप्शन असेल, किंवा आणखी कोणते असतील. त्यावेळी ओहम इनवर्स आणि सेंटीमीटर इनवर्स हे ऑप्शन निवडायचं. इट इज अ युनिट फॉर द स्पेसिफिक रेजिस्टन्स, सॉरी स्पेसिफिक कंडक्टन्स. और त्याला और फॉर्म मध्ये दिलेले बा की मोज centimeter inverse. Mohs centimeter inverse is also the unit for the specific conductance one. So in this way, you can have the specific conductance unit, you have the resistance unit, you have the conductance unit, and various thing you have here. For length, it is a centimeter. For area, it is a centimeter square. So all thing you have to remember that may be asked in objective question in your examination. So this thing you have to consider here. So up to this today, we have to stop here. If you have any query,